are making chicken and dumplings tonight is the goal. It's a Chrissy Teigen recipe. You know, I put it on this, we're gonna be doing, this is gonna use chicken. So we will be using chicken for the night. A little bit of this. First thing we're gonna be doing is starting to cook the chicken. It's actually gonna be a little bit of a fun thing. We're gonna be putting it in here and creating a Dutch oven. We'll be starting with this, and the chicken is actually going to get a bare minimum seasoning at the moment. So we're gonna be patting in some salt and pepper off the bat, and I think a couple other things here. I have the recipe, because this one's using one of my recipe books, which makes it a bit different. Though she wanted this to be bone-in chicken, and I ended up getting boneless, but it's fine because it's mostly going to be the idea of needing to shred it later. We'll be making, instead of buying chicken broth, we're going to be cooking the chicken in water and oil and seasoning it a little bit later to make our own version of a chicken broth that we'll be using with this. And that is the ultimate goal here. So we're sticking it in here, and that's about 4 minutes. Right, there we go. Hot. That is our timer for this. So what I have right now is a pot of chicken with oil in it. Here, oh, it's hot. So you can get a little bit of a look at it. So there's the chicken starting to brown. It's got some oil, salt and pepper. And now we're pouring in 2 cups of water. Here's a 1/3 cup. So now the chicken is basically immersed. We're gonna be adding in 1 bay leaf, thyme, rosemary as well. And so this is now supposed to cook for basically an hour. Oh, and a little bit of salt. Bring it to a boil. I gotta reduce it down to a simmer, and then we leave that for an hour. So what I'm gonna do is move this along because the chicken is not red anymore. It's actually doing good. So part 1, we're done with the bay leaf. Gonna pull this, just go ahead and pull the chicken out since it's cooked, which I'm glad. So now we're supposed to strain it. Try and break this apart a bit if I can. Probably be better if I wasn't doing it where I'm doing it. Ooh, look at that. That is a pretty white. That is a pretty white. A couple tablespoons of this. Now we got oil and butter in here, and it's about melted. That, sticking in the carrots and the celery. Everything but the potato. 6 minutes. 35. So we're supposed to get this in here until the carrot starts to soften, and that should be about 1/4 cup of flour. There's that. Now we're going to be adding in flour. Darken the flour, and then it should take about 5 more minutes. This is now 40. Alright, we're gonna toss in my potatoes. Toss in, didn't pay attention to that, the chicken. Just some of my, pour in broth. Okay, so supposed to bring this to a boil. To melt 2 tablespoons of butter. So I need 1 egg, 1, 2, 4. Okay, so there's a cup of flour, 1, a little bit of salt, melted butter in with the egg and the milk. Is getting the dumplings ready, and then we're going to be cooking them in it. This is mixed together. You're going to see. So now that we have that mixed together, we have this bowl, which is flour, baking powder, and salt. And we're going to be taking this is egg, butter, and milk, pouring it in. All right. So now we're using a fork to do this as opposed to a whisk, because she says it's not supposed to so much be, you don't want it packed too tightly and stuff. You just want it just enough to make a dough. So just kind of stirring it around, and it's getting a little crumbly, and the wet ingredients are definitely pushing it together. I'm just gonna use my hands to make little dumplings. So just gonna toss them in. 1/4 of a cup. We're just pouring it. I probably don't even need that much considering. Ooh, look at these dumplings. Look at them. They have fluffed up, and that's what she said it would do. Oh shoot, I'm spilling it everywhere. Oh, look at this color. Look at how thick. Oh God, this looks amazing. Oh, some soup. That carrot was really good. Okay. All right. I see what you're working with. It has some type of home feeling to it, yo. Ooh, but it's good. Only downside is I think it could use a bit more seasoning. I do think it's a little under-seasoned. I know it's supposed to put a bit more salt and pepper in it, but even the herbs and the bay leaf, I feel like I didn't change the amounts. I kept the amounts that she had as the original, but I had less water, so I would have assumed that they would have had a stronger taste. So either they were cooked out because it was more of a boil than a simmer for a bit there, but I think I finally got the temperature that I wanted to be at for a simmer. But I'm not sure. They just aren't as strong as I wanted them to be, so I would recommend either putting in more or putting in more other spices maybe. Yeah, the chicken came out well. It really fell apart. Based on hers alone, I would definitely say everything needs a little bit more seasoning. That would be my one. If I do this recipe again, that would be my thing, is I would want more seasoning. Or I just cooked it wrong. Quite possible. But it is pretty good.